Hello, I'm Georgina, and I'm going to be telling you about the Egyptian goddess Bastet. So she was the goddess of women, children, and cats, and she changed through ancient Egypt. But just firstly, I'd like to tell you a little bit about ancient Egypt itself. So Egypt is a country in Africa, on the northeast side of Africa, and life has been sustained through this region from the River Nile. And this helped cities grow, farming, fishing, and also villages. Um, and this links to Bastet because there was a city for her called Bubastis, and this had a temple for her, and people would flock to an annual festival to celebrate Bastet. Which we will discuss more later. So just the imagery of Bastet, she was the goddess of cats, and actually shown with the head of a cat. And the head of a cat changed depending on what was needed at the time. So in earlier periods, she was shown with a lioness head. So this was when she would be helping pharaohs in battles. There was myths about her battling with her father and helping him defeat his enemies. So she was very much a protector of kings, and a force to be reckoned with. And then her later depictions, where she was far more popular, was as a cat, so a domestic cat, and I will show you a picture of this. But she would be shown with earrings or sat very regally, and whilst she was a goddess like this, like a house cat, sorry, she was very important because cats were sacred and important in Egypt. So you can see here she's sat very regally, tall, headstrong, because cats are, again, a force to be reckoned with. She was still a strong goddess, even though she was now more of a household protector rather than the protector of kings. I don't have a picture of this, but she was also shown as a with a litter of kittens, so she was very much associated with mothers and children. And then this links to her festival that I mentioned earlier. There was an annual festival, and it was about women's freedom and being able to move on from normal, almost social disapproval. So potentially something your mum would tell you off for. It was allowed at this festival. And just generally, ancient Egyptian festivals are about having fun. They're also about praying to a god or goddess and hoping that they would grant you wishes. So for the cult of Bast, which is the festival for Bastet, people would celebrate through dancing and singing and having fun and eating, because she was not only the goddess of women, children, and cats, but also fun and dancing and joy. So she had a lot on her plate, really. She was a goddess of many things, which potentially was why she was so popular. So this annual festival was very popular throughout Egypt, and people would travel very far to come and celebrate. And hopefully they'd give not sacrifices, but presents to Bastet, with hopes of granting wishes, often associated with the home and being able to have children. In a later period, the ancient Greeks came after the ancient Egyptians, but they linked Bastet to their goddess Artemis, who was the goddess of the hunt and often associated with deers, whilst Bastet was associated with cats. So I'm just going to show my screen again to show a few tasks that I have for you. These are optional, so you can design a modern festival for Bastet. So this could involve what you would pray for, what people would give to Bastet. Would there be fireworks? What would people wear? Who was invited? Would this be at the same city, or would this be a virtual event? An alternative task for you to do would be to draw Bastet or your favourite Greek god, or even make your own. So would she have the head of a house cat? Would she be a tabby cat? Or would she be a lioness or a jaguar? Or would you have an Egyptian god with the head of a falcon, but the same powers of Bastet, of the home and the protector of women? Or another option for what you can do is you can write a story, or just think about a story where Bastet and Artemis meet. Would they be friends? So on. Do they have a shared goal? I very much enjoyed this. Thank you, and I hope you have too.